Hello, and welcome to the next steps to install and run SAG-PM. The next steps will be setting up your SAG-PM vendor database and the new vendor onboarding process. Thank you again for your interest in SAG-PM, and we're hoping it assists you in your cybersecurity enhancements. My name is Joanne Brooks, COO and co-founder of Reliable Energy Analytics. This is the third video for setup and using SAG-PM. Hopefully you have found them helpful. If you ever have any questions or concerns, please contact us at www.reliableenergyanalytics.com. As I mentioned, the next steps that we'll be going over are the setup of the SAG vendor database and the new vendor onboarding process. As you'll notice in this video, I'll actually be working with valid information, but in the documentation, it's examples of information so we can have screenshots for you. Let me take a moment and get set up, and we'll go through the steps. Welcome back. As you see, I have a Windows Explorer window opened. We'll need to open a couple of Windows Explorer windows and also change some system environment variables and then check to see if everything's working properly. What we do now is we will get to the SAG-PM database and we'll copy the database file. So go to the C drive, go to program files, because that's where the program is located, and let's make sure it's the 86. Go to REA, go to SAG-PM, and there's the vendor data file. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy that file, and we're going to put it in a secure location or a different location, because this vendor data file is a boilerplate file, and anytime there's an update or anything with SAG-PM, if you install the update, it would overwrite this vendor data file. So we don't want that to happen for sure. So that's why we have you set up a secure location file. So let's go back into our environment, user environment, and we're going to go into a users. And then we're going to set up a folder. So go to new folder, and then we're going to go SAG-PB. And we'll double click on that. Now we're going to copy that. We've already copied the data file. So now we're going to place it in there. So we right click and we do paste. Or if you drag it, if you're familiar with drag and drop, make sure you copy it and don't move it, because if you move it, it will take that database out of there and then that won't be fun. So make sure it's a copy, not the actual move. After we've done that, we want to verify that it's there, so we see that. And now we want to update the environment variables. So we're going to go down to our command mode, and we're going to update the system environment variables. So we're going to click on that, and then click environment variables, and then system variables. And you'll notice here, see users. So what we're going to do here is we're going to highlight it. You need to edit it. We're going to edit it. And what we need to do, make sure the double slashes are there. And we're going to type in SAG-PB /, and then we're going to click OK. And OK again. And OK again. And so now we can close these two windows. And then we go to our command mode, because now we're going to do some testing. So we're in our command mode. And we're going to type in SAG-PM to see if the URL is correct. So it will be pointing to the database so we could add our vendor. Takes a minute or two. And it shows that it's pointing to the database. I'll highlight it here. It shows that it's pointing to SAG-DB. Originally, it would have said SAG-PM. So we know that it's pointing there. So now we can actually go through the process and add our vendor. So what I'm going to do is type in add type in SAG dash PM, add product, and remember the space. Now I'm going to go get the URL. Again, this is only an example. I'm going to copy that URL, go back here, and then I'm going to say, okay. And then, in order to be able to add it to the database, you need to be sure you write the word database after it. That way it knows where to put the information. And it's going to take a second. Now, sometimes your vendors will have you use username and password to be able to download their information to your database. In this case, it's just, we're not going to use a username or password. Username or password. And you'll see it's Amazon Web Services. And there's a little bit of information. It says, okay, this is the information that we find. And if you want to add it to your database, you have to type in the Y, yes, and add it to your database. It says this product uses, and thank you for using SAG-PM. It's there in the database. So now we want to exit the database. In the next video, we'll be showing you how to do more with the SAG-PM database and how to add more vendors and things. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and we thank you again. Have a good day.